I know that you're in a better place, and I know that you're looking down on me right now. I only know that I love you. I miss you.
Hello guys, welcome to the channel. Today we are going to be covering the case of Chris Benoit, a wrestling champion turned deadly murderer. Buckle up, cause this is going to be a wild ride. Chris Benoit was born on May 21st, 1967 in Montreal, Canada. He started enjoying wrestling from a very young age and used to fantasize about being in the ring wrestling his opponents. So at the young age of 12, he decided to follow his dreams and passion and started training in order to achieve them. His parents supported his decision and even bought him his first set of weights in order to teach him the concepts of discipline and hard work. He did learn them very quickly, because just 6 years later, in 1985, at the age of 18, he made his professional wrestling debut in a Stampede wrestling promotion, eventually winning the match. And as a result of that, his wrestling career truly blossomed. Splitting his time between Canada and Japan, he would compete in Japanese pro wrestling. After this, he moved to Mexico and then Germany, continuing to make a name for himself and preparing to hit it big in the American wrestling market. Throughout his career, he won many awards, but his peak definitely came in 2004 when he won the World Heavyweight Championship. Now let's look into his personal life. Chris married twice, first in 1988 to a woman named Martina, and with which he fathered 2 children, David and Megan. Their marriage was tumultuous to say the least, given that Martina didn't like the wild lifestyle of Chris and much preferred a normal and quiet existence. She was also concerned about his steroid use, which was reported to make him very angry and aggressive. Their marriage officially came to an end in 1997 when Martina divorced him. It was reported later on that while still married to his wife, Chris started an affair with a fellow wrestler named Nancy Sullivan, the wife of one of Chris's peers named Kevin Sullivan. The affair was at first staged for wrestling marketing purposes, but in the end it became all too real. Nancy divorced Kevin and started dating Chris, leaving behind her wrestling career for a management job for Chris. They eventually got married in the year 2000 and welcomed their first son together, Daniel. However, like the first marriage, this one also wouldn't last. Nancy decided to file for divorce in 2003 for the same reasons as Martina before her. He was abusing steroids and testosterone even more frequently than before to achieve the highest of results in the sport. This paired with the constant hits to the head, which are proven to mess with your brain, also giving wrestlers a much lower life expectancy than other human beings. He became unbearable to Nancy and she couldn't go on with him anymore. When Chris was quote-unquote his normal self, he was said to be a very sweet and friendly person, also making numerous friends throughout his career, the most important being his friendship with fellow wrestler Eddie Guerrero. They were very close and would talk about everything. While on tours, they would even talk for hours and hours every night, but soon after, the tragedy struck. In November of 2005, Eddie would pass away in his hotel room due to heart failure. This hit Chris very hard and was even seen breaking down into tears in a televised interview while talking about his dead friend. Everyone who knew him agreed that he was never the same after that, and he spiraled into a deep depression that would follow him till the end. June 19, 2007 was the last time Chris Benoit was ever seen fighting in a ring. Despite winning the match, Everyone thought that he was way less charismatic and entertaining to watch than ever before. Less than a week later, he would cancel all of his appointments due to his wife and son being sick with food poisoning, and he had to take them to the hospital to get treated. The next day, he was scheduled to work with a man named Chavo Guerrero, the nephew of Chris's deceased best friend Eddie Guerrero. They spoke on the phone the night before, and in Chavo's account, it was very weird. The way that Chris said, "Chavo, I love you," before hanging up was very ominous and different to how Chris would normally sound. Then in the early morning hours, Chavo got a text from Chris saying, "The dogs are in the enclosed pool area. Garage side door is open." A few seconds later, he received the very same message, this time from Nancy's phone. And a minute later, another text from Chris saying, "My physical address is 130 Green Meadow Lane, Fayetteville, Georgia, 30215. Chavo didn't know what to think, other than being extremely weirded out, but he didn't think much of it at the time. Plus he would pick up Chris from the airport just a few hours later, so he went back to sleep. Later that day, he went to the airport to wait for Chris, but when his flight had arrived, Chris was nowhere to be seen. Neither was he answering his cell phone nor his house phone. WWE requested a welfare check to his house and sent a couple of officers over. Nothing could prepare them for this shocking discovery. Inside, they found the dead bodies of Daniel, Nancy, and Chris. They had all died at different times. First Nancy, on Friday, July 22nd, 2007. She was bound and strangled. A Bible was placed near her dead body. Then a day after, on Saturday, July 23rd, the young Daniel was suffocated with a pillow, also found with a Bible near his body. Then downstairs, in their home gym, Chris's body was found hanging from a workout machine. He had killed both his wife and son before hanging himself in the early hours of Sunday of July 24th. The wrestling community was deeply shocked. No one expected this to ever happen. Many medical professionals examined Chris's brain to better understand what led him to commit these actions, and found that due to a huge number of blows and hits to the head, his brain resembled that of an 85-year-old patient with Alzheimer's. It is known that brain injuries can very well cause severe behavioral issues to a person, so most likely this was the case with Chris Benoit. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you enjoyed the video, please give it a like and hit that subscribe button, and I will see you in the next one.